Hello everyone, welcome back to the Ameriwealth Talk Show. I'm your host, Karan Murugesu. I'm a financial planner and the founder of Ameriwealth Financial Group. It's so great to have you back for our third episode of the Ameriwealth Talk Show. I just wanted to start off this episode by saying thank you for all your support, feedback, and the questions you've been sending in. It really means a lot to us, and I'm happy that the show is helping you think differently about your financial choices. In our last episode, I talked about some tax planning strategies to help minimize income tax liabilities for anyone getting their income reported on a W-2 from the employer. I covered the benefits of spousal IRAs and health savings account, also known as HSAs, and how those work. The information I shared with you sparked a lot of great follow-up questions, especially around Roth IRA. One question that I kept querying was, Karan, you talked about Roth IRAs and that there are income limits to qualify for people to put money into it. What if I make more than those limits? I heard people talking about a backdoor Roth IRA. Would that be an option for me? That is a great question, so let's talk about it today. What is a backdoor Roth IRA? How does it work? Who can do this? And what are the things you should be aware of before considering a backdoor Roth IRA strategy? You may have seen some of the social media posts about this, and I have seen quite a few floating around on the internet. Most of them are very informative, but they don't give you all the important facts that you should know about this before you get started. So in this video, I will try to cover all the important facts you need to know about this backdoor Roth IRA because you don't want to miss a great opportunity to save more for your retirement. Before I start this, please remember, everyone's situation is different and one size doesn't fit everyone. So if any of this information sparked your interest, please consult with your financial or tax advisor so that they can help you make the decision with you. Because taxes are one place where you really don't want to make any mistakes or have surprises later. So it is always worth double checking before going ahead with this strategy. All right, let's talk about why. Why do people like Roth IRA so much? A Roth IRA is one of the best retirement accounts out there because you will use your after-tax money to invest in it, and the money in that account grows tax-free. When you withdraw the money once you retire, those distributions will also be income tax-free. Obviously, there are some timing requirements that needs to be met, which I covered in the previous episode. Please make sure to watch that. It will certainly help you. Now, the thing with Roth IRA is not everyone can directly contribute to it because there are income limits. If you watched our last episode, you might remember I talked about those limits when I was going over the spousal IRAs, but it's worth repeating again. In 2025, if you are married and filing your taxes jointly with your spouse and your household income is over $236,000, it will limit your ability for a full contribution to a Roth IRA. When the household income is between $236,000 and $246,000, you will be able to make a partial contribution to a Roth IRA. But once the income goes over $246,000, you cannot make a full contribution to a Roth IRA at all. For single taxpayers, this income limit starts at $156,000 and is fully phased out at $166,000. That means that if your income is between $156,000 and $166,000, you will be able to make a partial contribution to Roth IRA. But if your income is more than $166,000 as a single tax filer, you cannot make a Roth contribution. Also, in 2025, the annual contribution limit for Roth IRA is $7,000 for anyone under 50 or $8,000 if you are 50 or older. So are all the doors closed if your income is over those limits? No. Here's where the backdoor Roth IRA comes into play and gives you a legal workaround to still get money into Roth IRA. Yes, this is totally legal. Let's talk about how it works. It is basically a two-step process. Step number one, you need to have a traditional IRA account and make a contribution into it. It doesn't matter if you file your taxes as a single filer or as married filing jointly. As long as you have earned income, you can open a traditional IRA and make a non-deductible contribution. The key point here is non-deductible contribution. In other words, you are making this contribution with the money you have already paid taxes on. So these are your after-tax dollars. When you do this and have the IRA account ready to be funded, you have until the tax filing deadline, usually April 15 of the following year, to make that contribution. Your tax filing status doesn't stop you from making a non-deductible contribution, and the income limits are not going to be a concern here because you are not looking for a tax deduction for your contribution. But here's the important part. In order for you to do this right, when you file your taxes in the year you make that contribution, file IRS Form 80. This form tells the IRS, hey, I already have paid taxes on this money, don't tax me again. It is also important to keep good records of everything you are doing, including when you open the IRA account, who is your custodian, and when you make that contribution to the IRA account. Before we move into step number 2, here's the pro tip. If you are planning on converting this non-deductible IRA as early as possible to Roth IRA, try not to invest the money yet. Instead of investing the money right away, let the money sit in a place like a money market fund or something stable so you don't see a lot of gains or losses before you move on to the next step, because the gains can be taxed as ordinary income at conversion. I hope step number 1 is clear. Now let us move on to step number 2 of this backdoor Roth IRA strategy. Once the funds are available in your traditional IRA, step number 2 is converting that into a IRA. This is the backdoor part of this process. You are essentially working your after-tax dollars through a traditional IRA into a Roth IRA. That means you need to have a Roth IRA account to receive the funds from this conversion. You can either use an existing Roth IRA, or if you don't have one, you can open a new one. When you are converting the Roth, it also needs to be reported to IRS using the same tax form 8606. If you are doing step 1 and step 2 in the same tax year, you can use one form to report both the contribution and the conversion. But if you are doing this conversion later on, make sure to file Form 8606 again in the year you do the conversion. Now, here are some important things. First, there is no official rule from IRS says that you must wait for a certain amount of time between step 1 and step 2. Some people like to wait, others do it immediately. Either way, make sure to document everything clearly and stay consistent. The process is the same for anyone, whether you file your taxes as single or married filing jointly or file as a head of household. Now I'm going to talk about something very important, which I don't see many people talk about, the pro rata rule. This is very important because you don't want any surprise taxes in this process. Let's say you have this traditional IRA with your contributions, with your after-tax dollars in it, and there's no gains. If you convert that into a Roth IRA, you will not have to pay additional taxes because there are no reportable gains. But if you also have another IRA account with pre-tax money in it, like from old rollovers from your previous employer's plan, or you have just simply been making traditional tax deductible contribution to an IRA, the IRS mixes all that money together using the pro rata rule. That means part of your conversion can be taxed even if you thought it wouldn't be. Here's an example. Let's say you have 2 different individual retirement accounts. One contains $7,000 of after-tax contribution, the money you have already paid taxes on. Other one holds $28,000 of pre-tax funds from prior rollovers or deductible contributions. Together, your total IRA balance is $35,000. Now you decide to use the backdoor Roth IRA strategy by converting your $7,000 after-tax contribution to a Roth IRA. Here's where the pro rata rule comes into play. The IRS doesn't let you choose which dollars you are converting. Instead, it looks at all your IRA balances combined, in this case, $35,000 total, and it determines which percentage of that balance should be considered as after-tax money. In this example, your $7,000 after-tax money is 20% of your total IRA balance. That means only 20% of your conversion will be tax-free, and the remaining 80% will be taxable. So when you convert $7,000 to a Roth IRA, $1,400, which is 20%, will be tax-free. $600, which is 80%, will be considered pre-tax money, and you will owe ordinary income tax on that portion when you convert. In short, because of the pro rata rule, you cannot convert only the after-tax dollars. Every conversion is treated as a mix of both pre-tax and after-tax funds. This is the surprise tax that I was talking about. That's why it is always important to check all your IRA balances before making this Roth conversion. So what can we do about this? One of the most effective strategies is to roll your pre-tax IRA money into an employer 401k or 403b plan, as long as the plan allows you to roll over your IRA funds into it. Here's how it works. The IRS applies the pro rata rule only to IRAs, not to 401ks. By moving your pre-tax IRA funds to a 401k, you effectively separate them from your after-tax dollars. Once this is done, the remaining after-tax balance in your IRA can be converted into a Roth IRA with little or no tax implication at all. Whatever you decide to do, consulting with your tax professional or financial advisor will help you do it in the right way. I hope you understand the basics of the pro rata rule. Here's an important aspect. When you do a Roth conversion, the amount you move from your traditional IRA into your Roth IRA gets added to your adjusted gross income for that year. That means your taxable income goes up, and that increase can affect other parts of your financial future. For example, it might reduce or phase out certain tax credits like the child tax credit. It can impact your Medicare premium since those are based on your income. Medicare uses something called the Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount, which is known as IRMA, to determine how much you will pay. If your income increases because of a Roth conversion, your IRMA level could increase, leading to a higher Medicare premium down the road. In short, while Roth conversion can be a great long-term tax strategy, it's important to plan ahead and understand how they might affect your taxes and benefits in the year you convert. I just wanted to add one more thing. Making that decision to convert and moving your pre-tax IRA or 401k dollars into a Roth IRA must be done very carefully. It may sound simple, but you need to pay attention to a lot of moving parts. I may do an episode in the future about just Roth conversions. As always, let's talk about your action step for the week. If you like this Backdoor Roth IRA strategy and believe it could help you meet your financial goals, here is your action steps for the week. Take a few minutes to look at where your retirement accounts stand today. Ask yourself, do I already have any traditional IRA balances that include pre-tax money? Does my employer's 401k or 403b plan allow me to roll pre-tax IRA into their plan? And if you think you are ready, start the conversation with your financial planner and CPA and decide whether a Backdoor Roth IRA makes sense for your case. All right, everybody, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, making wise financial decisions is not about having every answer. It's about staying curious, asking thoughtful questions, and taking steady, intentional steps towards your goals. I hope this episode was helpful to you. Please share it with anyone who may need a little more financial confidence. When we share knowledge, we all grow stronger together. Please keep the questions coming. You can send me your questions right from our website, Ameriwealthfinancialgroup.com. You can also simply send an email to info@ameriwealthfinancialgroup.com with the subject line, question for the talk show. And you can also find me on social media. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on our Facebook page so that you will never miss an episode of the Ameriwealth Talk Show. Until next time, this is the Ameriwealth Talk Show. I am Karan Murugesu, and I will see you again soon.